Ooh, what's up guys, it's Daz here. But you don't really care, as excuse the voice. My voice is a bit busted, but that's fine. As the new 3D Mario game has finally been revealed. So let's kill no time at all and jump right on into this trailer analysis. Starting off, we're in the middle of a city with big old banners like New Donk City, Crazy Cap, another New Donk City logo, Dixie's Theater, and Tiny Piroshkis? Lost already? Don't worry, you're on Dixie Street, duh. And before Mario appears, we see his ship flying in the sky. There's also a really massive moon in sight, so perhaps this isn't quite real life. At this new low angle, we see an advertisement for Cogsworld, Diddy's Mart, and more Dixie Street. There's also question marks for little signposts. Presumably hitting those will get you at least a coin. The Crazy Cat building also looks to be accessible, and we'll see that it is later. 1981, New Donk City. 1981 refers to the release of the original Donkey Kong, and in case it's not obvious, this place is inspired by New York City as well as Donkey Kong as a whole, with all these references to the characters in it. And now Mario's running around the everyday city streets with proportional people and taxis. Feels like Sonic Adventure. The way Mario looks up here seems to be a visual cue for the player, telling them that there's something nearby to interact with. Here it may be this yellow block, which could be a question mark block. And although this is kind of reality, we see a checkpoint flag over to the right. Also, we've gone backwards in space, as I believe the end of this road here is where the sewer moment takes place. Though this time we can see yellow coins atop the building and purple ones on the balcony of another. I'm going to assume they're purple, but they could be blue. Hey, I can't help colorblindness. Cool Street, Ramby Street. Interestingly, Mario's head bops as he runs this time, suggesting it's more separate from his body than usual. Makes sense. These banners all say New Donk City. Espresso Street to the left, and apparently every taxi around is a potential trampoline for Mario. And you can swing on these poles. Also, once again, this road is the same shown in the sewer scene, as we can also see the checkpoint in the distance here. The skyscraper is also a bit of a giveaway. We can also see construction along the glass building to the right. Definitely a platformable section. Mario can still wall jump, and there are more purple coins in the distance, but the platforms in the distance are also a reference to the original Donkey Kong. The word on the road also reads out jump, though some have said that this is a reference to Mario being Jumpman in the original Donkey Kong. Mario could also shimmy along ledges, and again, I believe this is the same sewer road. The buildings all line up for this junction. And while jumping from the skyscraper may make it seem like Mario has become the next GTA, we can actually see that Mario still has the standard limited map thing going on, but it's all still cool anyway. In fact, this shot shows that the road we keep coming to is the only big one there is. Though it also points out where all the other shots took place, like the wall jumping one happening over here and overlooking this section. There's 4 more purple coins atop this building here, and in the distance we see Mario's ship resting atop another tower. Here it is, with a checkpoint and a globe, it flies off to another land. The logo has a hat with one massive hole in it. The light looks like a hat, and the ship itself looks like a giant hat too. And now we're out of pseudo-reality and into a more Mushroom King-y world. First of all, it's a desert with some really nice looking sand, but secondly, there's a large transparent rock in the background. Introducing a new move. Under the same moon, it's a spin dash kind of move. Really is like Sonic Adventure. The tower in the distance has a beam of light coming from it. And away from the realistically proportioned people, we meet some mariachi skeleton type creatures, though Crazy Cap still lingers. Much like the taxis, the parasols act as trampolines. No longer collecting purple coins but pink triangles, it seems every area will have different collectibles to get. All these were also in New Donk City, and the distance makes them look unclear, but I don't think this is the case. As we'll see later on, that there's more collectibles that come in even more forms. This town also appears to have an ice problem, as the whole place seems to be slowly freezing up. Over to a forest land, and we can see some kind of fluid on top of the hat ship. Perhaps this is fuel? There's also coins above the trees, suggesting Mario can climb them. Coming closer, we see some kind of watering can creature, which looks awfully similar to the one shown in the banner at the start of the trailer advertising Cogsworld. So perhaps this is where Mario is. More Crazy Cap. Here's a switch and running water. Clearly a puzzle of some kind happens here, or at least you can interact with the switch. What's also interesting about this clip is that Mario becomes checkered when hidden behind the grass, showing what Mario looks like when the camera is obscured. And now Mario's running on growing plants in the air, in a new area. Okay. And this place has purple cogs to collect, so perhaps this is still Cog's world. There's also some new animations for Mario diving into water. And here's a large tree-like dome, identical to the Cog's world banner. And these P-switches suggest that you need to press them to create some kind of path to get to it. Something's glowing rainbows. Is this the destination or an important item or what? Because later on we'll also see checkpoints do create these columns of light, but this one's very rainbowy. New area, this time much more saturated and polygonal, and food themed. The civilians are even forks. There's a bunny on top of that mountain, and a robot on the floor, which we see a better angle of here. Reminiscent of Super Mario Bros. 2, Mario can hold and throw vegetables around, and judging by how the bunny ran away, you must chase it and capture it. Hammer Bros and Spinies appear, though the Hammer Bro throws frying pans instead and wears a chef hat. Here's a cutscene, a giant pot is stewing. Back in the desert land, we see Mario is cold, showing off the story plot here that everything is freezing over. It's icier than it was the last time we were here. Also, there's an upside down pyramid in the background. You can skip. I guess this is just a fun little thing you can do. And it seems like you can interact somewhat with all of the civilian types. The pot is hot and the forks are trying to stew something. Perhaps the plot here is to simply help make the greatest stew. Mario swims. And the forest is big. Back in Desert Land, and we finally see Mario going into Crazy Cap. This seems to be a hat shop which Mario can go to get different abilities, like perhaps the spin dash we saw earlier? This clip seems to show that the Forest Land has a Jack and the Beanstalk kind of plotline, or this is simply used to open the next world taking place up in the clouds. Bowser's all dressed up, and Peach has a tiara too. And he has a new move. Also note that we're on a giant pink airship. This new move is a Boomerang Hat Trick, which we can kinda see in the cutscene. As it's thrown, the clip cuts and the hat comes flying back at Mario to hit him after a miss. But Mario can use it too. It is the mascot move of this game, much like spin jumping was for Super Mario Galaxy. It even gives Mario the tiniest extra distance. Also, are you interested in Squawks Park or maybe Cranky Street? Here's another section with bullet bills and more ice crystals, therefore it must be in the desert lands, with Mario having to journey over here to stop the Icelandic pandemic. The hat trick can be used to get a hype boost, but what is this red thing here? Also, we see a lion atop this massive pyramid. The hat trick can get you an extra platform. And here we see benches, a chest, that beam of light coming from the tower, the pyramid again, a mariachi statue of some sort, and a rideable lion. This camera shows us that the town is not too far away and that this platforming section is along the back end of this area. The lion presumably must be used to traverse the sand to eventually reach the giant upside down pyramid, with new skeleton enemies in the way. A new area again, a lot more classic in style. There's piranha plants spitting some kind of ink around the metallic area. Over in the forest, bucket heads will stretch and hit you with their thorns. Here's Desert Land with floating platform, a circle of laser to jump over coming from the sentry beam, some kind of new platform, and a checkpoint in the distance atop the tower creating the beam of light we're used to at this point. We can also see a sunken off area in the distance. New Top Hat tank enemies. This actually takes place in New Donk City in front of the skyscraper, though the fact that it's nighttime suggests that time has passed and the story has progressed. And here's the overarching plot point. Bowser and Peach, a royal wedding. Bowser is trying to marry Peach, and Mario is here to stop it. Bowser crushes Mario's hat, making me think that this is the start of the game, as this would be a good time to be introduced to a talking hat buddy, don't you think? And now, on a little white airship, a crew of 4 bunnies appear. They seem to be the boss of Cogsworld, as we can still see the triangular background prevalent in all Cogsworld clips. And interestingly, they're all wearing hats. A more feminine-looking Chef Wingo is the boss of the food area. Here we can see one of the rabbit bosses in action as it spews around poison. This area may also be connected to the classic clip, as the piranha plants have the same attack. And Mario's in a scuffle with something here, though I'm not certain what area this is. It could be the Wingo using a gust attack in the food area, or it could be a bunny in the mountainous Cogsworld area. Or it could be a new boss in a new area entirely, if not Bowser himself. New location, it's a temple with the ice crystals all around. This suggests that this is another section of the desert land. Perhaps it's within the sunken town, or within the pyramid itself. Here is that pyramid rising up, but why? And atop a New Donk City tower is an electric centipede enemy, appearing right where the hat ship is, I believe. And Mario's gonna land on the ship here, I expect. This could be even when the game starts and Mario meets the hat character? Maybe, maybe not. After all, he does have his hat here, so it doesn't really line up with my theory that Mario meets the guy after Bowser crushes his hat, so oh well. Anyway, speaking of which, there is that hat character. We don't know his name, but I'm gonna call him Hatty for now. Anyway, that is the end of the trailer. So overall, Super Mario Odyssey is pretty much the combination of Sonic Adventure and Sonic Unleashed. You got the themes of running around normal, real-life-ish people that you had from Sonic Adventure, and the game is basically Sonic Unleashed. It has the theme of having day and nighttime missions, and you're traveling across the world, as can be indicated by the globe on the hat ship. You go around the areas, saving each one individually, and eventually saving the whole world. Or in this case, stopping a marriage. Either way, on that note, I'm gonna end it off here. If there's another trailer you want me to do, then let me know, because for now, mine has been Daz. You didn't really care, and I'll see you in a bit.